Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another main progress video. This one coming out a couple of weeks after the last one, and it contains a ton of progress once again, just starting off this one with a few hard clue scrolls that I'll be doing from Slayer. A lot of that in this episode as usual. I think I've underestimated though how long Slayer will actually take to get to 99. It's very slow unless you literally put all your game time into it, but it does come with the reward of all of these hard clues. So that's not too much of a problem. Pest control, been doing quite a lot of that. I needed to get full void, something that I hadn't been working on at all for like most of the account, and so I decided to just put my range stuff on and grind it out pretty much. So this was when I got enough points to get the full void stats. Still got to get the elite void, but I think I need like Western hard diaries for that, so worry about that near the time. But yeah, full void, and that will help me a lot in Nightmare Zone, and also some bosses that I might do in the future as well. And yeah, 95 range, got that whilst in Nightmare Zone, trying to rack up some points just to get a supply of herb boxes, and then also to imbue some of the stuff I might need for bosses in the future, like the Salve Amulet, the Archer Ring, and other stuff like that. Armadale page 1 from that hard clue, 156k, not too bad. And the next one, pretty standard, 60k with a Holy Blessing and a Bandos Full Helm. And yeah, pretty average one, managed to rune plate body and a few Firelighters. 60k, not great. And the Sourdough in page 3 and that one for 44k. So yeah, I got myself enough points to imbue the Archer's Ring. I think I bought it a while ago, the Archer's Ring. It was just sitting in my bank, didn't actually realise I had it. So after doing Nightmare Zone for a while, I got myself 1.3 mil points. So imbue that Slayer Helm and then the Archer's Ring. That's later on, I think I imbued that. Another hard clue scroll, another pretty bad one, 26k, just a Sarah page. 66k, Rune Heraldic Shield, and some Isleworth Camp teleports, so not too bad. The Mage Training Arena, I will say this was not the most enjoyable grind I've ever done. That was Telekinetic, 200 points. I needed to do this to get Bones of Peaches, which is what you have to do for the Lumbridge and Draenor hard diaries, so you've got to get points in all 4 of the runes. Telekinetic was probably the worst, to be honest, of them all. A lot of people say that Graveyard's the worst, but I actually found Telekinetic to be the worst. And yeah, got myself 88 magic while I was there, so that was one bonus to doing Mage Training Arena. Got myself quite a few points. This was after 150 odd alchemy points, still had 150 to go at this point. In the meantime, a quick beginner glue for 1.4k, very thank you. Enchantment, quite straightforward. This one didn't take very long at all. Got the 2,000 points quite quickly, just using the high level spell and then just hopping worlds and collecting the Dragonstone. So that wasn't a problem getting that at all. And that put us pretty much halfway there. Still had some alchemy to do, and Graveyard as well, which is coming next. It's interesting this. At the start I really hated it, but after a while it became quite second nature, to be honest. So not too concerned about that. And yeah, the method I used was just kind of making sure that you're kind of in line with all the ticks and you get your F key switches right, and it actually does go quite quickly, although you do lose health. It did go fairly quickly, and that got me enough Graveyard points for the Peaches, and I finished off Alchemy afterwards. Finally worked this game out. It's funny, it took me, when I did the first half, I couldn't work out how to play the game at all, and I was just kind of alching anything that said 30 points. I didn't know how to know which item was in which chest, but eventually I worked it out. It wasn't that complicated, and that eventually gave me enough to get the Bones to Peaches spell. Will be quite useful in future bosses that I'm looking to do on the account. But an interesting grind, that one, not one I'd ever done before, not one I'd done in old RuneScape, so new experience for me, but that gave me the all-important Bones to Peaches. And this beautiful kill of the guard. And that Bones to Peaches means we have completed the Lumbridge and Draenor hard diaries. The best reward from this is that Explorer's Rule 3, which gives you unlimited teleports to the Falador farming patch, which is very important for farm runs each day and saves having to like teleport to Draenor and then walk, or etc. And then also a good old experience lamp as well, which you can probably guess what I'm going to use it on. Yes, you guessed right, I am going to use it on agility. It's the one thing I just don't like at all. And 73 agility that gave us, so that's a bonus as well. More Nightmare Zone later. It gave us enough points to imbue our Archer's Ring. This one's going to be useful for all future range training, as well as bosses that I'm going to range in the future. So very pleased to have done that. Took a bit longer in Nightmare Zone by ranging, but it didn't really matter. I was AFK most of the time. 79 prayer, a bit of Ectophantus, just to boost my prayer up, taking advantage of a few of the dailies that you can do. You can get Robin to convert bones to bone meal and slime, and I just did that over a couple of days, and over time got myself enough bone meal to get 79 prayer. 80's next for rigor, or not for rigor, but for 80 prayer in general, but I'll have to buy the prayer scroll to get that. Brimstone Keys, I did not know about this at all, and I feel like I've lost a lot of money by not knowing about this. I didn't know that the Slayer Master, Konar, and Zaya, all the tasks you do have to be in a specific area, and you get Brimstone Keys as your reward, which give you access to this Brimstone chest, and over time that adds up to quite a lot of money. I think the average chest seems to be like over 100k, so the more I get, it's going to help pay for all the supplies and other stuff that I'm spending in the game. So yeah, pretty disappointed I didn't do a bit more of that earlier, but just showing you a few of the rewards that I got now. Another hard clue scroll, and another Armadale page 2 this time, decent, 212k overall. Dark Totem middle from Bloodveils, as well as 96 ranged there. Certainly wasn't the most efficient way to do this task. It took a while, but getting the range levels slowly and steadily. And a lot of farming recently. I've really got myself back into farming. In 82, that was by doing the Calquat tree in Taibu 1A. Again, I didn't know about this patch either. There's so much content I just so ignorant to, and like, you can get 12k easy XP a day by doing Calquat trees. So I was pleased to do that, and I'll be doing that for a lot of the future. And yeah, Superior Foe. I had to quickly include that one. No loot that time, but yeah, Superior Slayer, pretty good. A few more Brimstone Keys coming up, 25 rubies that time. And this was interesting. I had a Dark Beast task, and I got 3 Dark Bows within about 50 kills, so they're 1 in 512, so there goes my RNG for the rest of the episode anyway. And a pretty standard hard clue there, 58k, a few Brimstone chests coming up. Free Magic Seed, very good, and then 27 uncut rubies. And that was the Taste of Hope quest. This was the boss fight that I did. It was pretty straightforward. I mean, again, with my stats, I can't really try to claim that any boss fight like this is going to be difficult, so got that one done. That's, I think, gives you access to the Theatre of Blood, but I think that's a bit out of my league at the moment. Maybe some point in the future, but working towards reclaiming that quest cape was one of the quests I needed to do. It was probably better than Darkness of Halavel. It wasn't anywhere near as tedious, and I probably could have done it a lot shorter if I had paid a bit more attention and had brought stamina potions. But yeah, I think the final boss, I can see why it might be tricky for lower levels, but it's overall it's quite an interesting one to do. And yeah, Tome of Experience. And what do you think I'm going to use it on? Yeah, you guessed right, Agility again. Okay, last quest then, Song of the Elves. What a quest this was. Just going to have a sequence of clips from the quest. If you haven't done it, it is a Grandmaster quest released in old school. I think it came out July 2019 along with Prifdinas. It's an awesome piece of content, I have to say. I haven't been in there a few times. And this is a sequence of me doing the quest. And on the whole, it was very long, as you'd expect a Grandmaster quest to be, but thoroughly enjoyable as well. Loads of different locations, lots of different bosses, lots of different activities you've got to do. There is the famous light puzzle, but it's not as bad as Morning's End Part 2. I'll talk about that in just a second. The Ardoon storyline's an interesting one. It's like King Lathas turns out to be evil, doesn't he, after you help him in a couple of tests to have quests. The plague proves to be like a massive hoax or something. Yeah, it's a really cool storyline. Maybe I should study it a bit more. But yeah, this one was just about 1/3 of the way into the quest when, yeah, King Lathas, goodbye. And yeah, I'll talk a bit more about the Fragment of Seren boss fight that is also coming towards the end of this, and that was an interesting experience for me. But yeah, just the Ardoon part here, and then there's a bunch of other parts which take place in the Letya area, and across old school. The requirements are quite high for this, that's why I was doing some skilling in the last episode. This light puzzle was, well, it was long, but again it wasn't anywhere near as bad as Morning's End Part 2 because you don't have anything attacking you, so you just need to follow the guide correctly, not make any mistakes, and you'll get this done in quick time. I did some alching while I did it too, which was a great idea and got me some extra magic XP, so I'd say this probably took me at least an hour, probably more to be honest, to do it, but on the whole, not as bad as Morning's End Part 2. Of course, the little Letya boss fight coming up. Iswilin, rest in peace. And yeah, they got back to Torin involved, the guy from Waterfall Quest, I remember, so cool that they did that. As for the other Grandmaster quests, I could see them introducing more in the future. I'd certainly be up for doing them, no matter how difficult the bosses might be. But yeah, the boss fight coming up in a second, the Fragment of Seren, I got very lucky with it, you'll see in the clip that's about to come. I was pretty much out of supplies and I just needed one more hit. You can see here, I thought I'd killed it with this next hit. Apologies for the resizable. I thought I'd killed it, but it was on 1 HP, and then it spawned all of the healers on its next attack, which is one of the special attacks, and I thought I'd blown it because I couldn't survive another one of her big hits. And just as she spawns the healers, I hit the one just as they're about to heal her and defeat her just, but I ran out of supplies. If you're wondering why she has this attack at the end of every spec, where she hits like your HP -2, so you effectively have to brew over your HP and brew up afterwards, so you end up using a whole inventory of supplies. It's just as hard when you're a higher level, although you can use better gear, it's just as hard because you have to use more brews on supplies, so very challenging quest, that one, I have to say, and kudos to the Jagex team on that and all of those who worked on it. Good reward to agility, construction, farming, herbal hunter, mining, smithing and woodcutting XP from that quest, but yeah, awesome. Cool, so that meant I got my quest cape back, finally. I've been wanting to get that back for a while, so very pleased with that. And it gives that all-important teleport to the Legends Guild, helpful for fairy rings, but I can't trim it yet, got to do all the diaries for that, which is definitely not going to be happening anytime soon. A bit of skilling in the meantime, just using some of the supplies I've got in my bank, and I didn't know about that little amulet of chemistry. Gives you a chance of making an extra dose when you make potions, so in the long run saves quite a lot of money. Level 77 Herblore coming up. That was just me using more of my supplies. Very expensive skill to train if you're not using your own supplies, Herblore, so I didn't want to kind of spend most of the bank on getting it up. More brimstone keys to loot, and yeah, rune plate legs first up there. There's some raw swordfish. 445 coal. And yeah, the keys really do rack up. You usually get 1 to 2 a task, and you think about it over time, that's going to be an extra sort of 200-300k a task, which over 5 or 6 tasks will certainly put you more than a mil in profit than you would be. And that was just a quick cooking level 93. Very easy to skill to train cooking, that's why I didn't talk about it too much. Got myself a trident from Kraken, very pleased about that. Used pretty much all my charges killing the Fragment of Seren, so pleased to get them back. And yeah, Kraken proves to be a very profitable boss, I have to say. Although you do spend a fair bit of money having to charge the trident, the standard drops are very good for Kraken, and always a task that I'm looking to do. Another brimstone in chest, and that was 64 dragon dart tips and 2 rune plate bodies. Dragon dart tips worth loads. 145k cash, 3 rune fall helms. Yeah, thank you very much, Jagex, I have to say. That extra money is much appreciated. And got myself a master clue that had been in my bank for ages. Quickly did the reward and had a look in the chest, and nah, I didn't get anything that time, but thought I might as well. But yeah, this had been sitting in my bank for about a year, I think. Finally got around to doing it, and the reward was a pile of garbage, pretty much, yes. 343k, not too bad, but it doesn't look very attractive at all. And the brimstone chest returns again. 149 dragon dart tip, that is a lot of money, as I have to say. Basic card clue there, 91k. And a Zami page there, and 2 rune plate bodies, nice one, 335k. And 83 farming. I had said I've been doing a lot, and lots of fruit tree runs and some herb runs as well. So that got me all the way to 83, and 2 off getting hard contracts in the farming guild. A few more brimstone keys, 4 more to open, dragon arrow tips, uncut rubies, rune 4 helms, and uncut diamonds, 4 pretty decent loots there, very pleased. So yeah, 21 keys in not in pretty short time as well. And I did some Zalcano, the mining boss located in Prifendas. I am going to upload a video on Zalcano coming out in the future, and I got the Zalcano shard on one of, I think it was like my first 20 kills or something, and it's apparently very rare, and yeah, it isn't worth too much at the moment, but it made my dragon pickaxe look very different and good. So yeah, I got myself a rare drop as well as all those other standard drops, but yeah, more to come on that in the future. Just a quick hard clue, another Zami page there, 219k, very pleased. Said very pleased a lot, and I'm about to say very pleased again, I reckon. Yeah, palm tree seeds, very pleased, gotta say. And that's going to be it for this progress video. Lots of stuff done in this episode, and I'm pleased to say that the next progress video is actually in progress at the moment, pun not intended there. That one should be out in a couple of weeks at the very latest, but I may get it out before then, depending on how other videos that I'm working on are doing. I'm doing a Zalcano mining guide, a Prifendas mining guide, I'm doing a Brimstone Keys loot video, a Wintertop loot video. That's going to be coming in the next progress video, and there's a few more on the go as well, so I'm definitely going to keep to the schedule of a podcast every week and then one video in game every week. As for the game, I'm really enjoying it, playing a lot, 8 to 10 hours minimum I'd say every day, and it's really helping me through this quarantine and making me, well, forget what's going on outside really, although I shouldn't be outside anyway, remember that. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well on your accounts, hope you're safe wherever you are. Thank you very much for tuning into the video as usual, and yes, I will catch you in the next one, which will be out if it's the podcast this weekend, and if it's the progress video either next week or in a couple of weeks. Take care.